To see the actual match itself, please skip to the timestamp you see below. Hey everybody, I'm Prince Akkanatan, and I was, I believe at least, the last person to ever wrestle Mike Shaw. And I just wanted to film a little intro here in 2019 before I get to the 2009 match, which proved to be his last. And really just talk about what a great guy Mike Shaw was. And, I've been blessed. I've wrestled a lot of names, Hall of Famers, guys I grew up watching. Greg Valentine, I believe the poster's right behind me. Sergeant Slaughter is another one right behind me. Honky Tonk Man was a major influence of mine. Kamala was wonderful as well. But Mike Shaw was something of a treat. This was an East Coast Pro Wrestling television taping in Paramus, New Jersey. What was actually advertised was Prince versus Greg the Hammer Valentine, and I was going to have the Iron Sheik as a manager. For whatever reason, Greg Valentine was not available that weekend. I don't know if he didn't make the flight or something happened, or maybe he was double booked. But Eric Sims, the super agent, had Bastion Booger on hand. And to me, and then taking nothing away from Greg Valentine, Booger was more of a treat. Greg Valentine is around a lot. Bastion Booger was a little bit more obscure. And plenty of us on the independent circuit, maybe this is something a fan wouldn't understand, we kind of mark out for ourselves working more obscure names. Plenty of us would rather pick Glacier than Buff Bagwell to work with, that is. And it was a real treat to get to that building. Paramus, they had monthly TV taping, so I'd worked in that building many times. Even in 2009, I'm only ostensibly about 2 years in the business. I probably had already 20 matches in that building. And to meet Mike Shaw, who looked a little different than his Bastion Booger prime that I remembered him from, or even his Norm the Lunatic days, or Big Truckin' Norm, or Mahkan Singh up in Stampede. This was an older gentleman, a little bit smaller. Then again, a lot of guys look a little slimmer when you meet them in person, or is my experience. And he had a very thick Minnesota accent. There are a few Bastion Booger promos out there. At the time, I don't think I'd ever heard any. They're a little bit rarer, but he has that very Midwestern Edie McClurg type of, oh, don't you know, kind of accent. And when we put the match together, he specifically requested that I go over. I don't think he knew this was going to be his last match. Mike Shaw lived for over a year after this. He passed away in September of 2010. This match took place in July of 2009. And he did have a wrestling school in somewhere in Michigan. Scandia, Michigan, I believe was the name of the town. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did have another match. But based on what we heard, my manager this night was, other than the Iron Sheik, of course, was Pharaoh Akkanatan, my father, who's also Lance Prophet, I Do Stink, and King I Do Stink was the other gimmick he had at NWS. And he was at a signing shortly after Booger passed away, and his son, I believe, Joshua Shaw, was there, and mentioned, hey, you were in my father's last match. So that's the confirmation in my estimation. Is it possible he worked other matches with his students out in Michigan? Sure, I wouldn't be surprised. But nonetheless, here is, in its entirety, as it was broadcasted on public access in 2009, is Mike Shaw's last match. A great man, a great worker, who just does not get his just due. Sure, he had a lot of silly gimmicks, and smart fans hate any gimmick that's fun, and they hate big guys, and Mike Shaw was kind of both. So you're not going to see him on any Meltzer top 10s or anything like that. But he had a prime. Go watch some of his Stampede stuff. You could liken him to someone like Vader or Bigelow in his early days. And sure enough, he was there. He was a character. He was a presence. And I'll never forget how great he was to me, how nice he was to me, and how much I appreciate him requesting the finish that he requested that night. So, rest in peace, Mike Shaw, and enjoy this match.
With Pharaoh and the Iron Sheik.
trouble. I bet him and Grundy could do some damage into the buffet.
The Sheik got up. He wants to go after Bastion Booger. I think the Sheik will take Bastion Booger on right now.
Maybe if he's ready. Does he want to say something to the camera? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of prejudiced people here. We not.
Oh, USA! That infuriates the Sheik, Joey. Look at him, oh my God! He's lost his head.
Gino, we don't know what's going to happen here tonight.
I don't know. This is all bedroom wall.
This could be all over the place.
Pure sixer.
You got the Iron Sheik. You got Prince Akkanatan. You got his father. And you got Bastion Booger. All hell could break loose.
That's his father, the Pharaoh. It's a fatter father.
Who's fatter, the father or the son? The prince hiding behind the Iron Sheik.
Hey, shut up! Shut the people quiet, man. I can't.
Oh, that's okay. Can't get two of them together at the same time. They couldn't get arrested. Two of them, same people, same tribe.
Prince Akkanatan going to work on Bastion Boogie.
Bastion Booger, you know, famous wrestler in WWF, WCW, all over, well-traveled. Filling in for a great Valentine now. The Prince and the Iron Sheik and then said that Valentine was too scared to come here. I believe the truth was Greg Valentine is injured and did not have medical clearance to fly, Joey.
Well, unfortunate, the fans did want to see Greg to have a Valentine, and he's been on past ECPW shows, and he'll be on future ECPW. But he's not here tonight.
Bastion Booger ready to step in and very adequately take control.
And look at his gorgeous.
But he's not one of the biggest ones in the arena, I'm telling you right now.
Bastion Booger was a much bigger man at one time, lost some weight.
Went through the training program here at ECPW. Oh, look at this, look at the Pharaoh.
Iron Sheik.
Oh! Hit him with the cane.
Iron Sheik is still as vicious as ever.
Oh, he's kicking him to the outside.
Iron Sheik, former world heavyweight champion. Oh, and he gets him again. Oh, and another one, Bastion Booger. And across the back. Iron Sheik is as vicious as ever.
It's a 3-on-1 situation.
The fans are going wild. No one here to help Bastion Booger.
This is probably the biggest match of the young career of Prince Akkanatan. Oh, Bastion Booger, a very crafty, wily veteran, Joey G. You never know who's going to show up here on ECPW Adrenaline TV. You got the Iron Sheik, you got Bastion Booger. Who's next? What's here next week, huh?
I don't know. You tell me.
You see the red and gold?
Could that happen? But you know what? I wouldn't bet against it.
You got to tune in next week, fans.
Oh, yeah. Maybe around.
Oh, you tell the people, shut up, man.
They don't listen.
They don't listen, Chief.
Oh, yeah, he's going to lay it on him right now, Joey.
The Prince is in trouble.
Oh, shot to the nether regions.
The family jewels are not shiny right now.
Nice big splash there. He's going.
Over ECPW right in front of the camera.
You gotta love this, Joey.
Well, this could be over.
Prince got a win over the Bastion Booger, Joey. That's got to be the biggest win of his career.
Unbelievable win. Get him in there. What's going on? Iron Cheek choking Bastion Booger.
The fat Pharaoh can't get in there.
Oh no, here comes Andrew Anderson. Here comes Andrew Anderson.
Yes! Get a hold of him! Oh! He got the fat Pharaoh!
Andrew Anderson cleaning house. Andrew Anderson cleaning house.
That was the odds game. It was a 3-on-1 situation right from the get-go. And Bastion Booger didn't stand a chance, Joey.
But what was Andrew Anderson 5 minutes ago? He could have helped out Bastion Booger.
He was just in the parking lot being detained by the Paramus police.
Don't forget, wrestling fans, ECPW returns right here at the Elks Lodge. August 14th, Friday night, bell time is at 7:30. TV title match, Peacemaker versus the Jersey Devil in a nightstick match. In the heavyweight title match will be Andrew Anderson versus Dan Inferno. In a lumberjack match will be Big Bad Brawley versus Dan Mandini. In a return match will be William Alexander Samuel Palmer versus Frankie Flo. Wrestling fans, don't forget, ECPW returns right here at the Elks Lodge in Paramus on August 14th, Friday night. Bell time is at 7:30. You don't want to miss it. Come see the Iron Cheek right now for autograph signings happening by our ECPW merchandise table.
Booger was more of a treat.